Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video about the BTS tickets that just went on sale and are still going on sale for the Permission to Dance in LA. So I first of all have gone through ticketing for several BTS shows. The first one that I ever tried to get tickets for was for LA in Anaheim in 2017. So that was the first time I ever tried to get tickets. So at that time I had my sister help me get tickets because she was the one with the credit card, because at that time I was still in high school and I was 17 years old, so I didn't have a debit card or a credit card or any of those things. So she helped me then. Obviously things are super strict now when it comes to purchasing tickets, Ticketmaster accounts, and also like who can buy tickets, as in like I know now it's a lot harsher with the with your debit card. Like sometimes it won't go through. It'll say like it's like it might think it's a fraud or like it's an error. So yeah, so obviously things have changed since 2017. I tried again to get tickets for these shows at the Staples Center, also in LA, because I live in LA. So all the shows that I've ever gone to have only been in LA. And I did manage to get tickets for the Love Yourself tour for it was 2 dates. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember what exact dates they were, but I managed to get 2 out of the 4 dates for the Staples Center show for Love Yourself. But these tickets were not VIP. I have never gone VIP. And they were pretty much, one was in like the lower stands and then one was like in the upper stands. So yeah. Now, as someone who has gone to several BTS shows up in the stands, it's just as fun. Like, you still have a fun time because you're there obviously to see BTS and to enjoy the music, and it's honestly so great to be in the arena or in the concert hall with BTS as they're singing, as ARMY are singing, all the beautiful lights from the ARMY bombs. Like, it's a really beautiful experience. So if you for some reason have any doubts about going because your seats are so high up, like, I wouldn't worry about that. It's a great time. Also, if you are going alone, I've gone to several BTS shows also alone, like sitting on my own, and I've had a blast. Like, I don't really like, it's when you're there, you're not thinking too much about the people around you. At least I didn't. Like, I never missed having someone besides me to celebrate with, because it was just as fun. Like, I was just having a good time with myself and with BTS. So yeah, sorry for the long intro, but I do want to say that I have tried to get tickets before, and I kind of want to compare my experiences from beforehand to now, because the situation has obviously changed. Ticketmaster has changed some of its rules, and the getting tickets is just harder now because there's so many people. And then for this particular stop, these 4 stops, it's the only dates that have been announced so far. So obviously people are gonna try to fly in from different states, even different countries, to come to LA to go to the concert. And well, I don't want to get too much into what I think about that, because people are going to do whatever they want regardless of what I think or what other people tell them. So I'm not even going to get into that. Like, if you want to go multiple days and you live not even in the US. It's up to you. You're gonna get tickets, you're not gonna get tickets. Like, yeah, there's nothing that I can do, or my opinion isn't gonna change anyone's mind about that. So I'm not gonna get like bitter about it and be like, oh, they stole my tickets, because there's nothing I can do. So it is what it is at this point, especially now that most tickets have been sold. So for the Mods tour, I got a VIP silver ticket for Rose Bowl for one of the days. So I did get the code to try and get tickets for this new show, Permission to Dance. And my experience was, I knew what show I wanted to get into first. So there's 4 dates: Saturday, Sunday, and then Wednesday, Thursday. Any of those dates would have worked for me, but my ideal date to try and get floor seats was either Saturday or Thursday, the first and the last show. Obviously, I think everyone has the same ideas about why they want to get those tickets. The first show, it's like the first time BTS has had a concert in a long time, and then the last show, it's also like a pretty good day to go because it's like the last time you'll see them. So I definitely wanted to go either the first or the last day. And so I had to make up my mind personally about what day I wanted to get floor, because floor tickets are so expensive. And of course I did get a refund for my last show's tickets, but the circumstances have changed so much that I had to think realistically about how many shows I could go to and where I could be seated that I could afford. So I knew I could get at least one floor ticket. That was my goal. And being super realistic about it, even getting one floor ticket was gonna be difficult. Like, I knew that going in. I had tried multiple times in the Love Yourself tour, the Speak Yourself tour. I tried multiple times to get floor tickets, and it never happened until Mods tour. So that's the first time I have ever gotten floor tickets. And then for this tour, I knew that I wanted to get floor tickets again, because that's what I had last time and I never got to experience it because obviously it was canceled. So I wanted with my entire heart to get floor again. I wasn't like, I had somewhere I wanted to be in mind. Obviously I wanted to be in the extended stage. I believe it's section B2, B3, or along the sides. I think that's everyone's like main choice. So obviously I had that in mind. But I just knew that I wanted to get tickets, period. So if those weren't available, I wasn't just gonna be like, oh, like freeze up and not try anything else. Like, I knew I couldn't get floor. I was gonna get into that arena one way or another. So the codes were for the sale on Tuesday. And for some reason, I wholeheartedly believed that the sale was on Wednesday. So it was around 2:40 already, and I wasn't in the line in the waiting room yet. And I believed it opened actually at 2:30 for me, so Pacific Standard Time. It opened at 2:30, and then you would be in the queue by 3. I wasn't even in the waiting line at 2:30. I went into the waiting line at 2:40 because I didn't know that the tickets for me were going on sale on Tuesday, which was, I believe, the 5th. So it wasn't until my friend texted me. She was like, good luck getting tickets today. And I was like, what are you talking about? I was watching Run BTS. I was like having fun, just watching that. And all of a sudden I had to get tickets. So I was like freaked out. I got on my computer as fast as I could, and I logged into my email, because it said you should preferably click in the email they sent you a link to Ticketmaster. So they said preferably click the link that they sent you to go to Ticketmaster. So that's what I did. I clicked the link that they emailed me, went to Ticketmaster, and then logged in with the account that had the email that they had sent me the code, if that makes any sense. And after that, I believe it was just waiting game. And after that, I waited for it to refresh on its own. It didn't refresh right away. To go into the queue. So I was like kind of nervous at that point because it was several seconds before I was even in the queue. But I resisted refreshing because they're like, don't refresh once it's time to go into the queue, not the waiting line, but the queue. So I didn't refresh and I just waited for it to load on its own. And the crazy thing was, after so many times of trying to get BTS tickets, you always dread the 2,000 plus people in front of you, right? That wasn't what I saw. As soon as I got into the queue, the bar loaded all the way to the end and said one person in front of you. And it wasn't even a couple seconds that it sent me straight into the seating map. And at that point, I was so nervous because I was like, I have never done this before. And I knew people are so fast when they do these things. Like, people can be really fast. So I was like, I am not the fastest person when it comes to these things because I get really nervous and I tend to slow down. But I would recommend, if anything, if you have a Q code, you should copy it. I didn't. I manually put it in, but I saw other people did paste it, and that does work. Like, it does work. So I would say do that instead of like copying it one by one, just because you can mess up, honestly. So it's just better to copy and paste. But I put it in one by one. I got in. Obviously, it was very fast when I went in. To give you like a time frame, I texted my friend at 3:04 that I got my tickets, which means I took maybe 3 minutes in there to even get my tickets. So somehow I was in and out in less than 5 minutes. I was in and out. So as soon as I could, I was clicking on the map. I know some people recommend using the sidebar, and that's fine. I think it's just whatever device you're on. For example, if you're on a phone or you're on an iPad, zooming into the map is difficult, and sometimes it doesn't load. So then that's when I would recommend using the seating map, like on the side. I have used both my phone and my laptop before to get tickets, and it's definitely harder on your phone to zoom into that map. So like I said, it's better to just use the side if you can. But for me, this date, I could only use one device because Ticketmaster has a new rule where if you use more than one device, it might count you as a bot. So it's better to use one device. And I've seen people use multiple tabs, but I'll talk about this later because there's something I saw that I don't know if it has any, it's just speculation, but I'll tell you that later. But I used one tab. One tab, one show. Like I said, I knew exactly what show I wanted, and I only tried for that date, which I think is probably crazy, right? Because you would think I would try all 4 dates and try to get floor seats for at least one of them, but I didn't. I was like, nope, I'm gonna go on Thursday, and Thursday's the day I'm gonna get floor seats. Went into it with that in mind, and once I was in there, I saw the B3 and B2 section. Those sections still had seats available. Like the first 3 rows still had seats available. So I was like freaking out because I was like, I'm getting VIP tickets again. Like, I knew that. The interesting part was that I don't know how many people were in with me at that moment, but a lot of the seating areas were already gray. And I don't know if that's because other people had gotten them or if they were reserved. I'm sure those seats, like some of them seats were reserved and not everyone like got those seats. Like, I'm pretty sure they were reserved. So I tried to click at least 3 or 4 seats before I could get mine. So I tried and it was like, oops, not available, somebody beat you to them. I was like, okay, that's super expected. Like, don't give up after the first time it says oops. And sometimes the seat that you choose won't be the one that you're gonna end up getting. So I know you're like, I got it, it's still available, and you think that's it. No. Sometimes you have to try up to 10-20 times clicking on different seats until you get one. But the thing is, you have to do it fast. So after it says oops, like, don't let that shit bring you down. Just keep on going, keep on clicking until eventually you get one that is available and you're able to get it in your cart. So it happened to me about 4 times that the ticket that I wanted wasn't available, until I just, like I said, I kept clicking until one was available and I was able to check out. And I think this also depends on whether you're being picky about the seat that you're choosing. I'm not saying being picky is a bad thing. Obviously, there's seats that you would rather have than others, and that's fine. But for me, I knew that I was on floor, which was my main objective. What seat I was in wasn't a priority for me at that point, because if I had spent more time trying to look for the ideal seat that I might not even get, like, all the other seats would be taken. So I was just clicking on any seat that I could in the floor, and trying to check out. So I wasn't being picky at all with what seat I wanted, whether it was the first or second or third row. I just knew I wanted it to be in that general area. So after I clicked out, and this is when the whole debit card, credit card thing was a bit of a mess for me personally. So the first time I tried to check out, I was using one of my debit cards, and it was going through, and I thought I had gotten them because it was already saying, you know, securing your tickets. But when it went through the check, because there's a check now apparently on your debit card, and it says like it makes like a check whether if it's fraud or not. I'm guessing is what it is. It's just checking your card, and it said I couldn't purchase the tickets with that credit card. So I was like, okay, that's weird. So I tried again with a different credit card, and I believe I tried 2 times with the first credit card that I put. And I'm just gonna tell you what bank I have because that's just easier. I used my Bank of America card the first time to try to get the tickets, and it wouldn't go through because it said there was a problem with my card and it didn't want to purchase the tickets. So I tried 2 times with the Bank of America card until I gave up, and I was like, these tickets are gonna get released, so I need to try something else. So that's when I tried getting them through my Chase card, and it didn't go through again. But this time it didn't go through, but it sent me a text saying basically saying like to approve or not approve that transaction because it thought it was fraud. So I said, you know, yes, I am trying to purchase this amount from Ticketmaster. So once I put yes, I got a reply back from Chase, the automatic message that said whatever purchase I was trying to make, it was now clear, so I could try it again. So that's when I tried my Chase card again, and this time it did go through. So my tip for that, if that happens to you, is I would have either another debit card on hand, but it has to be under your name if it's floor. And I'm saying this because floor tickets are not transferable, and the card holder and the person that purchased the ticket is gonna have to go in person to pick up their tickets. So if your name is not on the debit card that you used, and it's not on your ID has to match up to your credit card and to the ticket name. That's kind of confusing, but let's say you use your friend's card and then you have your ID and then the ticket's under your name, but your debit card doesn't match. That might be an issue. So what I would say is you have to try and get everything under your own name, everything under the same name, your debit card, your Ticketmaster account, and your ID that you're gonna use to pick up these tickets, especially if it's floor. I don't think it matters if you're getting tickets like in the back. Like I don't think it matters like whose card you use, but if you're getting floor, they're gonna check your credit card, they're gonna check your ID, and they're gonna check the name the ticket is under. So those three have to match. So if you're gonna have 2 debit cards, make sure they're both under your name. And if you didn't use okay, this is where my tip comes in. If your card doesn't work, try using PayPal, because I tried again to get tickets for another show date, and I wasn't able to use my Bank of America card again, right? But I decided to use PayPal, and PayPal allowed me to buy the tickets. So that's another option for you. I wouldn't say it's like the best option. I would definitely try to get your tickets under your own debit card directly rather than PayPal. But if it's like your last resort and you're like panicking, get PayPal and use PayPal to check out, because that was an option. So that's what I would do if your card's not going through. Use PayPal. And if that doesn't work, if you don't have PayPal, or for some reason PayPal is not working either, that's when you kind of have to call your bank so that the issue gets cleared and that you're able to purchase the tickets. That's probably like the last resort. So I was able to check what seat number I got. Like I said, I wasn't being picky. I didn't know where I was. I just knew that it was on floor, and it ended up being that I got barricade tickets. So I was just so excited to be there in the first place that it didn't occur to me that it was an option, or that I actually got barricade tickets. It wasn't until I went in there again for a different show that I was like, let me check where my seating is at, and I'll upload like a screenshot of where I'm at. And that's when I realized that I am in barricade. So I have been a fan of BTS for 5 years now, and I had never gotten that close to them before, and I'm just really excited that I have this opportunity this time, that it's in my city, and that I got these tickets. I'm very happy, and I feel very blessed to be able to go. I did get tickets for Saturday as well. The first day, I did want to get tickets for that day. I knew that I wasn't trying to get floor again. I just wanted to get any ticket because I was planning to go with family, and I knew that I wanted to get them together. That's another thing. It's easier to get tickets if it's just one. Getting tickets together is very difficult, and I know you want to have this moment with your friends, but sometimes that's not possible, and I would recommend splitting up and getting different tickets, because it's just so much harder to get tickets together. If it's 2, 3, 4, like the more tickets that you want in a row, like the harder it will be to get them, to be honest. This time I tried for 3, one for myself, one for my sister, one for my niece, for the Saturday show, the first show, and I was able to get tickets in the 200 section, which was really, really good. I got them again on Tuesday. I was gonna wait to get them on Wednesday, and I'm so glad I didn't, because Wednesday was a shit show from what I saw on Twitter. So I'm glad I got my tickets the day before, and there was a limitation to 4 tickets per account, so I used the 3 tickets that I had available for Saturday, and then 1 ticket for Thursday. So yeah, that's everything. I hope this was a little bit helpful, and if you didn't get tickets, this is where I have a little bit more advice. I have bought Resale tickets before for BTS concert tickets, and it's more expensive, obviously, and you have to be very, very careful. I would say I got mine from resale sites. The only good thing about resale sites like StubHub, SeatGeek, like Vivid Seats, those sites, the only good thing about some of those sites is that they do have a buyer protection. So if they do end up being false, or for whatever reason they're not available anymore, you do get your money back. But if you end up showing up to the show and they're not fake, then you're kind of screwed over, right? So my advice about that is try to get it with buyer's protection, because at the very least you'll get your money back, and that's like pretty important to get your money back. If you're buying off Instagram or Twitter, I would be very, very careful. There's so many scalpers. I would be pretty cautious about buying VIP on resale, because it's going to be very, very hard for you to get verification because you need ID, you need the card that the ticket was purchased under, and you need all of those things. So if it's resale, sometimes it's not possible for you to have those things, and they might not give you the ticket. So I would be very careful about buying resale on like any site. If you know the person that's selling VIP tickets, I would actually have them go with you to pick up the ticket itself, because again, you need an ID. So I would say that. And then lastly, it's so tempting to buy a ticket now, right? But tickets are going to be sold closer to the date, and the prices will go down. So I checked basically every day up until the show, and prices do go down. And one of my regrets is that for one of my shows, I bought tickets and like almost immediately after they went on sale, and they were at much higher price than they were actually worth. And then I noticed that after it was like really close to the date that the concert was going to be on, the prices dropped so much, and I could have saved so much money if I just waited. So I would say to wait, and it's really hard. I've gone through it for like basically all the shows, because I've tried to get better seats for all the shows through resale, and you just have to wait, and it's really hard to wait. But if you wait, you can save yourself some money, like a lot of money. And try not to give scalpers what they want. Don't give them so much of your money, and try to wait. Yeah. And that's about it. If you have any questions, you can leave them down below, and I'll try to answer them. If you're going to the show, I'm so happy for you. I hope you have a lot of fun. I hope to meet a lot of new armies there, and to have a good time. So yeah, that's everything. Thank you so much for watching, and peace out.